Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to your very own BYJU'S 9th and 10th grade channel. I'm your teacher Aishwarya and I welcome you to today's class where we are going to be discussing top 20 important assertion reason based questions from biology. So I hope that all of you are excited for this particular class because we will do 20 questions. Very simple, very easy. It's going to happen on your very favorite Menti platform and we will do 20 of these questions. And the intent of this particular class is to make sure that first and foremost, I give you a lot of confidence in the fact that you are able to crack assertion reason questions. Secondly, and most importantly, to help you with your revision. So very quickly, students, please do let me know that if my audio, my video and my screen and whatever I'm writing on the screen is visible to all of you. If it is, could you please give me a quick thumbs up to let me know that we are good to go? Good evening, Divyanshu. Good evening, Ashvi, Ayushman, Palani, Felix, Abha. Everything is good to go. Yes. Now I can see Khushi, many others. Subhash is here. Sukrut, Kaushik, Nandini, Sarika, Preeta, Felix. Many of you are here. Good evening, all of you. Many of you who are having parallel conversations side by side. Let me tell you once and for all. See, if you've not started studying at this point, if you still want to waste time at this point, I don't know what to say. Because your board exams are 10, 12 days away, and even now if you are not taking it seriously, then it has become a lost cause. Later when your marks come, you should not feel bad that I did badly. Because now time is, when you had to spend time, you've been whiling away time. So please don't waste your time. Use your time wisely. Yes? And students, as you all know, it's going to be a Menti quiz. So go ahead and type in the Menti code, which is 52808478. Yes? Okay. Now, I do have the comments coming in front of me, but I'm going to still refer to my phone. And I can say, Ayushman, ma'am, I followed your timetable. It was quite productive. Glad to know. If you guys have not checked out the session where I'm telling you how to utilize your study holidays, there's a video that I've made on the channel. You can definitely watch that. That will definitely help you out. Okay. Good evening, Kushi. Good evening, Radhika. Yes, I do know Nitika ma'am. Hello, Sorinder, Gurshan. You look like Rashmika ma'am. Okay. But that is not important. What is important is assertion reason questions. Right, Manas? Good evening, Anushka, Siddhi. Many of you are here. I'm going to stay on this slide for some time so that you can write your name. Subhash, they'll ask you to write your name. Rachel, you also followed the timetable. I hope. How was it? Did you find it helpful? Okay. Ma, mere complete revisions ho gaye. Abhi time for sample paper, Nandini, then if you're finished revisions. Yes? Okay. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm going to stay on just 2 to 3 minutes so that our friends join in. Then we can get started, right? Hello, Palak. Okay. Divyanshu, did you find it helpful using this timetable? Okay, ma'am, they aren't. Maybe in the next slide. Oh, yeah. Now that you can write your names. Yes, thank you, Ashvi. It's been a while since I've done Mentees. Oh. Harshit, as a matter of fact, yes, I did. Which is why I know that exam pressure gets to you. It gets to you all the more, especially when everybody around you is also scaring you. See, yesterday also when I told you, I'm not here to come and tell you that if you've not done it now, it is now or never. No, I'm here to give you a lot of positive energy to tell you that see, this examination holds stress. Examinations, especially big examinations like whether it's NEET, JEE, and of course in NEET and JEE the pressure is very high because your competition levels are at that, it's highly competitive, right? But even at a board examination level, you tend to feel a lot of stress because it's one of the major life-changing, life-altering events. And as your teacher, I don't believe in scaring my children into doing things, but rather I believe in positive reinforcement where I give you a lot of positive energy and I tell you that I know that it is scary out there, but you've got this. You can do this, right? So that is why I'm here to give you a lot of positive reinforcement. Now, many of you, actually it's not rescheduled to Sunday, students. Quick reminder, actually Ankita ma'am is not keeping well. Ankita ma'am's health is not doing great, and she's also somehow, I feel like I'm patient zero. She's not keeping well, she's having some throat issues, she's down with fever, and she's really not in a condition to take class, which is why students, we had to reschedule the social science class to Monday, right? So we are going to have that particular 100 PYQs on Monday, but not to worry, tomorrow we will have a geography session, okay? Not that if I've promised you SST class will happen. So tomorrow we will do geography, top 30 questions, and I'll be able to revise a lot of the concepts as well. Yes? I know, Aisha, jaldi say. Let's get started. Everybody hit the like button. Yeah? Yes. Okay. All of you send in your love to Ankita ma'am in the comments of this video. I'm sure she is watching, right? Okay. Yes. Jaldi say, let's get started to question number 1. Hope you're all ready. Question number 1, everyone, on your screens now. Assertion statement says that resins and gums are stored in old xylem tissues in plants. Reason R says that resins and gums facilitate transport of water molecules. What is the correct answer? See, your ABCD will remain the same. ABCD will remain the same in all, in all the questions. Only question will keep changing. Everybody has voted. Very good. Students, very, very good. Now the correct answer here is option C, right? Now why did some of us get confused thinking that resins and gums are going to help in transport of water molecules? See, they are stored in old xylem tissues, right? And resins and gums are mainly excretory products that are there, right? Which are normally excreted. Transport of water is mainly done through xylem, yes, but of course in this particular case, what do we see? We see that in this particular case, they are not contributing towards facilitate of transport, right? So that is why in this case, R here is false, yes? Very good. So are we clear? Are we clear with this question? I'm not going to spend too much of time. I would like to finish this class off in under 1 hour, but quick revision of all the concepts, yes? Okay, so we are clear. Shall we move on to question number 2? Question number 2 on our screens now, right? Okay, question number 2, students, let's have a look. Hi Anya, hello. Option A is this is interesting. Glucose is absorbed in small intestine and is reabsorbed by the kidney tubules. Maximum absorption of glucose takes place in the large intestine. Just give me one moment, everyone. Vibhuti, you can definitely score 95% plus as long as you put in the hard work and the effort. Yes? So definitely possible. Students, kya hui? What happened here? What is glucose? Glucose is the simplest form of sugar, right? Glucose is the simplest form of sugar, which means that after complete digestion of carbohydrates, we get glucose, right? Now in this particular case, what do we see? We know that maximum absorption, or where does the process of absorption take place? Absorption takes place in small intestine, right? Absorption takes place in small intestine. You agree with me? So after complete digestion, it gets absorbed into the small intestine. It reaches the blood vessels. Yes? You agree with me? And we know that in the inner linings of the small intestine, we have these finger-like projections called as villi that help in its absorption. You are with me, right? You are with me so far? Now, the later part of the question says that it is reabsorbed by the kidney tubules. What do we mean by this? They have clubbed one other concept, that during excretion, right? During excretion, what happens? In your glomerulus, I cannot draw the capillaries anymore, so making one rough glomerulus. In the glomerulus, what happens? Filtration takes place. So when you filter, the filtrate that comes out, Your filtrate that comes out has your urea, your unwanted products, but along with that it also has your glucose, it has your amino acids, it has all the important, all the important components as well, which is why later on we see that it gets reabsorbed during tubular reabsorption, right? So in this particular case, this statement is true. But does large intestine help in absorption of glucose? How many of you did not read the fact that it was large intestine? Yes. How many of you saw the fact that it is large intestine and not small intestine? Maximum absorption of glucose takes place in large intestine. False. Absolutely not. It does not take place in large intestine. Absorption of water takes place in large intestine, which is why in this case the correct answer is option C, where A is true and R is false. Yes? I'll try to be as fast as possible, but I'll try to clarify as many doubts as well. So yes, this session was scheduled for 9 p.m. but I had to move it a little early due to some other reasons. Really sorry if this became an inconvenience that I moved it a little early. Ashi, no. I've just moved on to question number 3, right? PYQs, Ishant, more than enough for practice, right? Don't worry, PYQs ho jayega, but sample paper, practice paper you have to solve, especially last year's and this year's. So question number 3, everyone, on our screens now. Yes, Lakshmana, that would be the case. Okay, the taste of food changes when we have a blocked nose due to common cold. Gustatory receptors are responsible for taste. हाँ जल्दी करती हूँ. Very good, students. Very, very good, right? Now, this is a slightly tricky one. Who said D? Harshit? Okay. 1 minute. Gustatory, olfactory. Have we got confused with these two words? Have we got confused with gustatory and olfactory? Have we gotten confused with gustatory and olfactory? Tell me that. Ma'am, no. Ma'am, please check assertion. The taste of food changes when we have a blocked nose due to common cold. Okay. Let me explain this. This is a small bit in NCERT. How many of you have read? There's a small, paragraph which is given there where it is a question for you in NCERT. Oh, all of you open control coordination? Yes? All of you open control coordination. I'm also going to open control and coordination. Today I am with you on this. So I have control coordination. I'm going to open it side by side along with you, right? So in this particular question, have you seen this part? Let me zoom into a little bit. See, is there a difference in how sugar tastes, sugar and food tastes if your nose is blocked? How many of you have read this statement? Right? Now they also talk about how taste that is there. Ma'am, I didn't read this, but I voted A. A is technically not the answer. I'll tell you why. Now what happens is that we have different receptors, right? We have different receptors in our body. We have we have photoreceptors, auditory receptors. Now receptors that we need to do is gustatory. What are the gustatory receptors for? They are responsible for taste. So yes, this is true. Will the taste of food change when we have a blocked nose due to common cold? Now when they say, will it change? How many of you have experienced this? That at times when you have a congested nose, you are not able to taste food properly. They are not saying that if you are going to eat dal, it is going to taste like chapati. Don't interpret the question as if I have a cold, dal will taste like chapati and roti is going to taste like, I don't know, curd. That is not what we mean by that. When we say change, it means that when we have a blocked nose, we are not able to taste food properly, right? So in this particular case, we are talking about how we are not able to taste it. Now, why does that happen exactly? When we have cold, in our inner lining, we have the olfactory receptors. Now, the olfactory receptors, what they do is, there are these odor particles, okay? These odor particles that are there, what happens is they normally perceive them. But when we have a cold, they will block that, which is why we're not able to sometimes smell things properly. Now, this in turn, because smell and taste are there, we know that it can have or it can interfere with the taste of food, right? It will interfere with the taste of food. Vishal and every others who are telling me, ma'am, D should be the answer. There is a question on the same, right? They are asking you that, see this activity also. How does sugar taste? Close your nose, then try to taste, right? Then when do you see the difference? So this is what we mean by that. In this particular case, we're saying that it interferes, right? So in this particular case, the taste of food does change. When I say change, doesn't mean that it will taste like something else altogether. But we are not able to taste it properly. People who have had COVID, right? People who have had COVID, I am sure that those of you who, I've had COVID like twice. And in that case, I was not able to taste my food properly and I was not able to smell things. That is because they have interfered with that. Which is why in this particular case, the correct answer here is B. Are we clear? Yes? Are we clear in this case? Yes or no? Why does this happen? Because see, the odor particles, the way we sense it, it's in the way where we process it, right? So in this particular question, what we're trying to say is that when we have a blocked nose, it tends to interfere. That is what we need to know, okay? Question number 4. Are we clear? Raja, I will explain that. But let me go to question number 4 because many of the others are pushing me towards it. Question number 4. The timing and amount of hormone released is regulated by the feedback mechanism. Reason being that if there is too much or too less of secretion, if there is too much or too less, it could be harmful. These not all are PYQs, some are practice questions. Okay. Very good, all of you. Very, very good. I can see that many of you here have got the correct answer. Now, in this particular case, if you see, right, in this particular case, they are asking you, let's go step by step. What is the technique for assertion reason? Assertion reason technique, step number 1 is to see, right? Step number 1 is see whether both statements are true or false. So in this particular case, timing and amount of hormone release is regulated by feedback mechanism. We know that this statement is true. If there is over secretion or under secretion, hormones can be harmful. Yes, this is true. Now, if both statements are true, you can eliminate out these two. Now, how? Now, how do you have to, or how will you realize if it is the correct explanation? Ask yourself why. The timing and amount of hormone released is regulated by feedback mechanisms. Why? Because if there is an over-secretion or an under-secretion, that could be harmful for the body, which is why feedback mechanisms keep it in check. Hence, in this case, it is the correct explanation. Or add a because, Maitreyi, very good. You can even ask yourself or put a because after that and do it as a continuous statement. So in this case, if you are clear, you see that it will justify it. Ma'am, how is reason explaining the assertion correctly? The reason is telling you why feedback mechanism is important. They are telling you how or why the feedback mechanism is necessary. Ma'am, it is not answering why properly, no? Okay, if I were to ask you what is the why statement, what will you say? The timing and amount of hormone release should be regulated by feedback mechanism. You tell me why. Why, you tell me. Yes? Or ask how exactly. I always say it's not just why. It is always how, all of those things. You tell me why. You will tell me the same thing. Because you need to maintain, right? You have to tell me what will be the why statement. Which is why in this case the correct answer is option A. Because see, think of it as not all the reasons will be the exact, what do you say? Every time they'll not give you the exact reason, like spot on reason. Sometimes if it is answering your hows and whys in the most basic way, that will be an easy way to understand, right? Ma'am, brain controls this coordination, so that could be a reason. See, feedback mechanisms are regulated by the brain, yes. But in this particular case, what is the need for having a feedback mechanism? That is what we need to understand, right? Okay. Students who are rushing, please understand, I have so many students to tackle and the intent is to make sure that I try to help as many students as possible. Okay. So let's move on, everybody. Let's move on. Awesome. Ma'am, to tackle assertion, reason, NCRT reading is important. Divyanshu, NCRT reading is very, very important because they will ask you from NCRT sentences. How to join Menti? www.menti.com. Type the code which is pinned in the comments. Yes? Okay. Question number 4 on your screens now. Blinking of the eyes when a foreign particle enters into them is a reflex action. Reason being that it is a spontaneous and voluntary response to a stimulus. Okay. How to join Menti? Bacha, I've already told you. Read the question statement. That's all I have to say. Those of you who read the statement correctly, read it. Read the question. Blinking of eyes when a foreign particle enters. When you are riding the bike or you're going to school, suddenly some dust enters, what will happen? You will keep blinking, no? And your eyes will start to water, right? The eyes will start to water. And why does that happen? In order to get rid of the particle and go out, right? It needs to go out. So it is a reflex action. It's not something you think about doing. Now dust will come, then I will blink like this, then I will produce, water from my lacrimal glands. You don't plan all these things, right? Which is why your assertion statement is true. And you're saying it is a reflex action. Now, for students who have not read the question, reflex actions are spontaneous, yes. Voluntary, to all of them, these 70 of you, I am telling you, 70 में all of you have made silly mistake and read it as involuntary. जल्दी में गलती हो गया, I know it. Because you are in a hurry to answer. Don't be in a hurry. Board exam में nobody is like, oh, be fast. It's okay if you take time and answer and don't make it on the leaderboard, right? It's okay if you're not on the leaderboard today, but what matters is that you get things right because that matters more in the board exam. Which is why reflex actions are voluntary. What are voluntary actions? Something we cannot control. Something which we control. Reflex actions are involuntary. Hence, R is false. Students, don't be in a hurry. Correct answer here is option C. So with this, let's have a look at the leaderboard. Yes? Okay. Let's see, leaderboard will come. It will come on your screen. So I can see here, team 7 guy, कैसे हो मैम? बहुत बढ़िया. You are on top, followed by Shreya, Easy Way Out Learning, who's the fastest, followed by Aditi, Jia Yogi, Jagriti, Vidhi, Navya, Sri Lakshmi, Srijan, and Ananya, who have made it to the top 10. Most importantly, everyone, tell me how much you got correctly out of 5. See, as much as I'm going to be proud of you making it to the leaderboard, and I'm going to be very, very happy that you made it to the leaderboard, even if you are rank 150, if you've got the answers correctly, I am still super proud of you. 5 out of 5 is what matters to me, right? Because if it is 5 out of 5, that means in your exam also you've got 5 out of 5. So today, if Jia is giving me the answer in 3 seconds, and in the board exam, if let's say Khushi takes 5 seconds to give the answer, end May all of you will get that 1 mark, no matter what, right? Okay. Ashwini, I know it was supposed to start at 9, but I had to move it a little early. That's why. I hope you don't mind. Okay. Let's get started. We'll move on to the next set. Power prep got over. How was power prep? Did you all enjoy power prep? I hope you did. I had a lot of fun. Alex, so happy that your brother recommended the channel. Okay. No problem, Aisha. You answer the rest. Ma'am, confidence come ho gaya, koi nahi. This is practice. And I have some extra tough questions. Some tough, some easy. Okay? But see, with assertion, reason, all of you, before I go to the next set of 5 questions, calm yourself down. You guys are very anxious to give the answer. Stop for a minute now. All of you, stop for a minute and take a deep breath. Yes? Take 2 deep breaths. Calm down. Don't be as if flustered while giving the answer. Half of you are flustered while giving me the answer, and that's where you're going wrong. Don't be. Yes? I don't mind doing yoga with all of you. It'll help me also calm down. Let's go on to question number 6, all of you. These are the kind of questions which will come in boards also, so don't worry. Assertion. Testes in human males are located outside the abdominal cavity in the scrotum. Reason being that testis secretes male sex hormone called testosterone. Bacha, exemplar we've already covered actually. Exemplar series, I have covered all objective questions. Subjective may I have done a session very recently where I've gotten super higher order questions. You can watch those sessions, trust me. Ma'am, we want subjective also. I'll do subjective also. Not a problem. Ma'am, I go with B. Ayushman, you should not be giving me that answer with a crying face. The answer is so evident in this case. The fact that you are thinking, kids, why is it that in human males, the testis is located in the scrotum? What is the reason? Tell me. Very good, Ale. Testosterone needs less temperature. You tell me now. You guys are the ones who gave me the answer 2-3 days before. Same way now you have come. Temperature for what? Now you tell me that. Temperature for what? Less temperature, more temperature, okay. But for what? To produce what? Testosterone? Sperms. Exactly. Sperm production. You all have given me the answer earlier and today you have forgotten. So, testis is extra-abdominal or located outside the abdominal cavity for the production of sperms. Now we know that testis is also responsible for the male sex hormone testosterone, but in this case that is not the case. Which is why the correct answer is B. That both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation for A. Yes? So correct answer here is option B. Okay. Practice paper is very helpful, very important also. All of you, please solve practice paper. Okay? It's a little higher order. Okay. Very good, genius boy. Okay. Yes. Let's get started, everybody, with question number 7 on your screens right now. A says that the human embryo will always get implanted in the fallopian tube. Reason being that embryo gets nutrition from the mother's blood with the help of placenta. Okay. Read the question. Don't be in a hurry to answer. Okay. Very good, all of you. Very, very good. Question number A. So here assertion statement says that human embryo gets implanted in fallopian tube. No, it does not get implanted in fallopian tube. Where does it get implanted? It gets implanted in the uterus, right? That is where implantation process takes place. Now, embryo gets nutrition from the mother's blood. Of course it does, right? So we know that this right here is where we see that this is with the help of placenta. Okay. Very good, very, very good. Awesome. So let's get started, everybody. Let's move on to question number 8, right? Question number 8, everybody on your screens now. Yes? Very good, Manya. Very, very good. Let's move on. A says that a basic event in reproduction is in the creation of a DNA copying mechanism. Reason being that DNA in the cell nucleus is the information for making proteins. Read the question, don't overcomplicate it. Okay. Now, very good, all of you. Very good. Many of you here have got the answer correctly. A basic event in the reproduction, in the creation, we know that assertion statement here is true, right? So we know that a basic event in reproduction is the creation of a DNA copy. Yes, we know that that is necessary whether it is asexual or sexual. Reason being that in this particular case, the DNA in the cell nucleus is in the information source. Or why? Why is it that it's a basic event, or why is it a necessary event? Because we see that in the cell's nucleus, DNA is the one which has the information. Which is why in this case, the correct answer, it is the correct explanation. Like I said, many of us, ma'am, I know, Ashwini, exactly. See, we may think that why is DNA copying a basic event? Because it has to go from parent to offspring. That is also a valid thing. But why should it go to parent to offspring? Why should it go from parent to offspring? What is the reason behind that? If I need to transfer my DNA, what is the reason behind it? Simply because we know that it has the basic. B is also looking appropriate, I agree. B could look appropriate, but in this case, it is, I would say that it's almost a correct explanation. Why I believe so is because in this particular case, it has all the information that is needed to make proteins. Hence, it needs to become a basic event, right? Okay. Now, in this particular case, I have somebody who's told me that, who went back to the previous question on testosterone, right? Testosterone, that is there where you told me that, it could be the correct explanation because ideally testosterone is produced. I think Genius Boy was the one who was asking me that. I'll tell you why that is not an appropriate explanation. Because testosterone, although is the primary male sex hormone in males, a very small percentage is produced in females also. So in females, there is no extra abdominal structure. Testosterone is produced in very low quantities in the female body. So the fact that it is extra abdominal is not for the production of testosterone. Yes? Yeah, so are we clear? I will solve it. Try your best, Harshit. Try your best. I'll try to do it. Are we clear now? Are we all clear? Shall we move on? See, in this particular case, like I said, even though B is looking right, it is taken from some reference books which also agree with what, like I said, it's a gray area here, which is why we've moved on. Okay? So question number 9, everyone, on your screens now. Question number 9. Okay. Answer the following. Assertion says that a geneticist crossed a pea plant having violet flowers. We are back. We are back with our pea plants. we have violet crossed with white. He got all violet. This is because white color gene was not passed to next generation. I'm so happy to hear when all of you say easy. This was a debate. Oh, was it? Okay. Very, very good, right? Very good students. Very proud. So you had violet color. Now whatever it is, okay, if you do this or see now you're saying all are violet, which means it is pure parents, right? Pure parents, all are violet. True. In the case of pure parents, it is all are violet. Now somebody will tell me that, ma'am, if I take, how do you know it is pure tall, how do you know if it is a pure parent, not a pure parent? You need to make that assumption in this case. Now next up, if all are violet, then does this mean that this particular gene has not gone to F1 generation? Absolutely not, right? Absolutely not. Which is why in this particular case, the correct answer is option C. That is, it has been passed, but it is not expressing itself. Yes? Okay. Let's move on to question number 9, everyone, on our screens. Question number 10 on our screens now. Question number 10, students. Half an hour, we're done with 10 questions. Not bad. Oh, I feel like there's going to be a big debate for this question. Variation is useful for the survival of species over time. Reason being that population of organisms fill well-defined places in the ecosystem using their ability to reproduce. Isme I am expecting some debate. I will take some of the generic questions coming my way. I will take some of the generic questions to students, like what square is asking me, how to solve questions and all of that. Ma'am, I didn't get reason only. Very good. Time to open how do organisms, this one. How do organisms reproduce? Class 10 PDF. Because you have forgotten this one sentence that I kept yapping about for almost all the time that I taught how do organisms reproduce. See, first sentence, population of organisms fill well defined. Let me highlight this sentence. Take your NCRT, right? Now, population of organisms fill well-defined places or niches. We have just eliminated, they have removed niche ka word. They have just removed niche ka word and they've told you that they fill places using the ability to reproduce, right? Now, why did they bring this up? To talk about how when they fill up a certain area, right? So when they, let's say, are found in specific areas, we know that their body features are designed to live in that area. Hence, reproduction is linked to stability of species. Yes? But our question statement, which I forgot the stem for at this point. What was our stem? Stem says that variation is useful for survival. Variation can be useful for survival, right? So we know that some variations can be useful for species over a period of time. But that is provided that niches undergo changes, then they influence variation. So this is a very long one. So in this particular case, the correct answer is option B. That variations are useful for survival. There are niches that exist. But reason is not supporting the assertion statement. Yes? Are we all clear? Ma'am, niche means ecosystem. No. In an ecosystem, like let's say terrestrial ecosystem, there will be one place where you will find zebras. There will be one place where you will find lion. So that is a niche, right? That's a specific location. So are we clear? Ma'am, is there a chemical difference in testosterone and estrogen? Structurally, chemically, you will find a difference. Testosterone, steroid hormone, yes, but the changes that they bring about. A is not correct. It is B. I strongly feel. Ma'am, if it is not B, main wapas. It is B only, don't worry. Yes, estrogen is produced in small quantities. Manya, no, you're correct. Okay? So let's have a look at the leaderboard, everybody. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. Nikhil, you talk to me. You first go and study. Who is this? Ma'am, is there anybody to talk? Now is not the time to be talking to others. Now is the time to study. So now I can see Shreya is on top with 9,400 points, followed by Team 7 guy, followed by Aditi, Shrijan, Vidhi, Anchal, Navya, Sri Lakshmi, Anonymous and Samiksha. So well done all of you, well done. I'm super proud of all of you because see, these questions are not easy. Some are direct and easy, some are little tough, right? Some are little tough. But nonetheless, the fact that all of you are putting in the effort and we are going on studying and learning and trying to reason it out is all the reason for you to feel proud of. Yes? Okay. So well done. I hope you're not experiencing any lag. Can you all open and close YouTube once again? Open and close YouTube. You all should be able to see things clearly. Biology ka one shot might happen closer to boards, right? And of course, we will have more classes, but don't worry. One shot is already available of Ankita ma'am's Gagandeep. You can watch that. We've already done a one shot much earlier. You will be able to watch it. Yes? Okay. See, students, I can see one very deep question coming my way. Okay. So shall we move on? Now it's all okay? Is everything good? Sab theek? How to live in this society? Oh, Bhavangna, that's a very deep thing that you're asking, right? That how to live in this society. See, I am very young to be giving motivation and all, and I feel like I've not seen life enough. I should see more of life. But from the little that I've seen in my adulthood, I'll tell you one thing, and I stand by it. You be yourself. Unapologetically, unabashedly be yourself. And trust me, if today there are going to be people who might say that, oh, why are you saying that? Why are you doing that? Tomorrow those same people will be amazed by the fact that you could hold your own and you never really gave in to what people said, right? So, students, don't get worked up about external things. External things are noise. It's all noise. Take in what you need. Tell yourself that you've got this and move ahead, okay? You are going to do really well. You are going to do really well in your board exams. Constantly make sure that you positively reinforce yourself and tell yourself that you will do it. That confidence only will push you 2-3 steps ahead, right? Okay. So now we'll pick up the pace a little bit. Question number 11, last 10 questions. No problem, Ayushman. Like I said, getting answers correct tops making it on the leaderboard, okay? Paying rent and all, why are you paying rent and all? Why are you worried about all that? It'll come later. Lot of time is left. Let's get started. Question number 11. I feel like all the tough questions are over, I hope. Okay. Reflex arc has evolved in animals over a period of time. Okay, I am adding that. Reason being that thinking process of all animals are not quite fast enough. Again, I have control coordination open. I will take the page number if you get this wrong. This is something I keep yapping about over and over. Now at this point, see, some sentences of mine should be ingrained in your brain, okay? It should be ingrained. Subhash, I'll take that. Maithili. Today, the chat is going so fast, I need to open it in your phone. I mean, in my phone. Good. क्यों confuse हो गए आप? Let's go to control coordination. This is only my C. Reflex arc have evolved in animals. Why? Because we know that we're talking about most animals. Everyone, this is, I don't know in which page number, but this is under subtopic reflex arc. So we know that reflex arc in animals are evolved. Why? Because the thinking process of the brain is not fast enough. As a matter of fact, many animals don't have a complex neuron system or a nervous system like us, which is why in this particular case, reflex arcs have become more efficient. Hence, the correct answer here is going to be option A. So for those of you, it is as it is from the NCERT. And remember that even in your board exam, it will come as it is from NCERT. Which is why please read the questions. Please read NCERT if you have finished revision. So correct answer is option A, where both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation for A. Yes? Calcitonin is another hormone that is secreted by our body which maintains the calcium levels. Yes? Question number 12, students, on our screens. Question number 12. All new bryophyllum plants are genetically similar to their parent plant. New bryophyllum plants develop from the stem of the parent. Harshit, it's okay. See, bacha, don't feel bad that you went wrong in stuff, right? Don't ever feel bad that you went wrong in some of the questions. It's okay. This is all, like I said, there's always for you to know where you need to revise, how you need to revise, what are the things you need to focus. This is direct. Geography marathon aayega. See, I can't take it immediately because I'm just back from my recovery. So if I go full out and I start teaching, my voice will slowly go. And I'm trying my best to, reserve it. Yes? Okay. Very good. This is easy, right? Very, very easy. Subhash, if you've read and if you've made short notes, it's more than enough. Don't sit to make long notes. Abhi time nahi hai. Practice more, read NCERT, do more sample papers, right? So students who are planning to make notes now, I would suggest not the ideal time. If you have short notes and summary ready, please focus more on practice. Yes? Okay. So now, of course, in this particular case, it's very direct. Assertion statement, all bryophyllum plants are genetically similar. Yes. Why? Because we know that in bryophyllum, we know that there is vegetative propagation where from the notches of the leaf, you have new buds that arise. Now here, the mode of propagation is through leaf and not through stem. But because here there is no involvement of gametes, it's asexual. So they are genetically similar or identical. Hence in this particular case, what do you see? Correct answer is option C. Very good. Now shall we move on to our question number 13? Question number 13, everybody, on our screens now. Okay. Assertion A says that when pure tall is crossed with pure short, you will get 50% in F1. Now, reason being, all plants in F1 will be, all are tall because it is dominant. Guys, you have to be able to get this. PYQs, you can find it on the channel. You will be able to get PYQs on the BYJU'S website. You can download the app. And most importantly, if you want PYQs, CBSE website is also having the PYQs. How to prepare during holidays. I have just done a class yesterday. Watch that video. How to use your time wisely. Easy. Correct answer is option D. Because we know that when a pure tall parent plant is crossed with a pure dwarf parent plant, we will get all tall, which means 100% is tall. This looks like F2, but it is F1, right? Now, if all are tall, why are they all tall? They are all tall because tallness is a dominant trait. Now, a question that I would like to take, which Maithili has been asking. Ma'am, I have a doubt. Dogs and other animals also reproduce through sexual reproduction, but we don't see as much variation as we see in human beings. Well, because the idea of variation is easier to understand with us humans. In the case of dogs or in the case of cats, if you see maybe the type of fur, the fur pattern, or if you see maybe the color of eyes in some case, maybe the kind of nails that they have other characteristics in which we see variation. Which is why if you see whenever we take dogs, cats and all that as an example, we talk about the type of fur color and all of that. So we do see variations in them as well. Yes? Okay. Ma'am, only NCRT, not all in one. Read NCRT. Read NCRT, summaries, then go to other books. Ma'am, where can I find a brain? Brain is there, yape, right? Oh, Shivraj, I will send it right away. Yes, I will be faster. 10 more minutes, maybe we will wind it up. Question number 14, students, on our screens now. Okay. Oxygenated blood flows through the pulmonary artery. Arteries have narrow lumen. I will not say anything now. Yes, I finished that class and I jumped here. Yes, Mahi, for only my videos, please watch other videos. I mean, other videos in the sense, watch for PCB and everything. But yeah, I've explained everything in detail, so don't worry. What is lumen? Jishna, I'll explain. Both are wrong. Kaise? Okay. See, what is assertion? Hey, put my videos on 2x and watch if it is long, okay? I'm very fast. Okay. Now, you have pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. We know that most arteries in our body are responsible for transporting oxygenated blood away from the heart. Except for one, right? Except for what? Except for your pulmonary artery, which is responsible for transporting deoxygenated blood from where to where? From the heart all the way to the lungs. And it takes this deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the lungs for oxygenation. So assertion statement is false. Now reason is given indirectly, right? It says arteries have narrow lumen. Now what is lumen? Lumen is the space. So if this is, luckily, oh, there's something inside this. Now if you take my water bottle, right? If you take my water bottle, the space inside my water bottle is called as the lumen, right? So this is what you call as lumen. Now, in the case of arteries, if you see, we know that arteries have thick muscular walls or thin muscular walls. So we see that they have thick muscular walls, right? So they are thick and muscular because we know that it is transporting blood away from the heart, which is why the space which is available for the blood to flow is narrow. It is not very big. While on the other hand, if you see, if you look at it, in the case of veins, what do you see? They are thin-walled, right? So veins are thin-walled, which means that their lumen is wider. So are we all clear between what is lumen and what is this thick wall, thin wall? Yes? Are you all clear? I know Malayalam, but please, no, I will not speak in Malayalam or Tamil or Kannada because I know the languages, right? Stop asking for Instagram IDs. Who are these people? At this point, if you're going to be checking for Instagram IDs, not the time. Okay? Okay. Jishna, I hope you were clear right now. Yeah, I know, but you have to read NCRT, Ajay. There's no going, especially for history. There is no. Ma'am, lumen facilitates transport of blood with high pressure. Yeah, through the lumen the blood flows. But there in that case it is true, na? Okay. Question number 15, everyone, on your screens now. I'll explain lumen once again. Don't worry. Question number 15. I have done this 100,000 times. The sex of the child in a human being is determined by the type of chromosome he or she inherits from the father. Now, reason being that the child who inherits X chromosome from his father would be a girl and the one who inherits a Y chromosome would be a boy. Stop asking for my Instagram ID either. Guys, You should be off Instagram at this point for these few days at least. You come back and find me after late, like post your boards. Now all of you should be off Instagram. Deactivate, delete, throw it away. Such a distraction, I'm telling you. Students who have been very regular in my class, you know that this is literally the 5th or the 6th time I'm going to give it to you, right? This is a very commonly asked question. Very good. The correct answer here is options A, right? Because we know that in sex determination, we know that the sex chromosome that we get from the father is what determines our sex or gender. If it is X from the father, then it will be XX and a girl. If we get a Y chromosome from the father, then it will be a boy. Because no matter what, we will always get a X chromosome, right? Okay. So now let's have a look at the leaderboard and let's see what the leaderboard says. Lakshmana, good question. Can I do that towards the end? Indole acetic, I will take some of the questions which I like towards the end. Question on indole acetic acid and everything, I will be taking it soon. Okay. Shreya is still on top, very good, followed by Aditi, Samiksha, Ananya, who's the fastest. Team 7 guys, Shrijan, Jia, Anchal, Vidhi and Master Queen Bhumi. Don't worry, Dibyajit, it's okay if you misclicked it, but as long as you knew the answer, that is what matters more, right? Okay. So well done, students. Well done. Super proud of all of you. Now, very quickly, have you been keeping a score of how much you've got out of 15? Have you been keeping a score? Because that's important, right? Okay. Ajay, what happened? Yes. I will take the question. So what I will do is, towards the end, I will do doubt solving. So those of you who want to stay back to listen to the doubts, you can stay back. But those of you who want to, drop off the session, you can drop off, right? So I will take most of the doubts towards the end of the class. Yes? Okay. So we'll move it on so that I know time is of the utmost importance. So those of you who need to drop off later on, you can drop off and watch it later. Yes? Doubts towards the end. Okay? So question number 16, students, on your screen now. Okay. Assertion A says that a recessive trait can be expressed in homozygous condition. Reason being that dominant trait cannot be expressed. You need not need me to even read the remaining question because dominant trait cannot be expressed in heterozygous condition. Is that the case? Subhash, why are we misleading people in the chat? Is there a concept bite for this chapter? There is a one-shot video of Ankita ma'am's, a crash course video of mine, but we've not done like a concept bite per se where we've recorded it. But you'll be able to find our live videos on the channel. Yes? Very good. Those of you, please tell me this is a misclick, right? Nahi, koi nahi, it's okay. So what is homozygous condition? Homozygous is when it is a similar pair or it is the same. So in this case, what do we see? A recessive trait like dwarfness can only be expressed when it is the same or a similar pair. While on the other hand, in the case of dominant trait, is it true that it cannot be expressed in heterozygous? Heterozygous means dissimilar, right? It means dissimilar. So does this mean that dominant trait won't express itself? That's not true. It will express itself, right? Which is why in this case, we see that the correct answer here is option C, where A is true and R is false. Okay. Now let's go on to question number 17 students on our screens now. Yes? Okay. Question number 17 everyone. Assertion A says that polythene bags are non-biodegradable substances. These bags cannot be broken down by microbes into simple substances. Remind you, this right here is from the environment chapter, and chances of such assertion reason questions coming from our environment is very, very high. I'll take your doubts. See, I know I'll stay back and talk to all of you. In the meanwhile, because see, there are many students who want to drop off and maybe go back to revision. Those of you who want to stay back and discuss a few things with me, you can stay back. The others, I will let you go after the mentee. But in the meanwhile, you guys are not liking this video, huh? Very bad. Jaldi say go and like the video. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Just because I don't remind you doesn't mean that you guys forget. ठीक है. Simple. What are polythene bags? They are non-biodegradable. Now, what do we mean by non-biodegradable? It means that they cannot be broken down by microorganisms into simple substances. So, both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation for A. Yes? G20, I will digress. G20 is important. You can get questions based on that. Yes? Okay. Question number 18, everyone, on your screens now. Question number 18. Each step of the level of the food chain forms a trophic level. The organism which occupies the first trophic level is called as the producer. It's okay, Lakshmana, it's fine. Very good, students. Very, very good, right? See, each step of the trophic level, as we know, or each level on the food chain occupies a certain trophic level. And in this case, the organism, right? The organism which occupies the first one is called as the producer. So here, we are not saying how is it that each level. It's not answering your why, which is why it is not a correct explanation. So by now you've got a hang of it, right? Now we'll move on to question number 19 on our screens. Jaldi say we will go on to question number 19. Okay. Man-made materials such as glass persist in the environment for a very long period of time. Bacteria and other saprophytes break down organic matter. Very good, Arshit. Very good. Okay. G20 questions, you can go to the G20 website. See, G20 you can watch. I've done in under globalization. I've covered that part. You can watch it. I'm a little worried about whether the answer is marked correctly for this question. Okay. So, please don't mind if it goes wrong. Guys, what happened? Why is it C? Why were you confused with B and C? See, man-made materials like glass and everything, they are non-biodegradable, right? They are non-biodegradable, which means that in this particular case, it takes a long period of time, so they are non-biodegradable. So ideally, the reason here would be that because they cannot be broken down by bacteria and other saprophytes, right? Ma'am, they break down inorganic to organic or vice versa. It is, yes, Divyanshu, it is written organic matter. What is organic matter? Can you tell me? What is organic matter? Those of you who got confused here, what is organic matter? Yes? What is organic matter? When you say, you've learned this in your carbon and compounds, right? You've learned about organic substances, right? What are organic substances? Organic substances are those substances which are found, let's say, in living organisms, right? So if you take any kind of organic compounds that are there, normally, if you see, in this particular case, organic matter is something wherein we have your bacteria and saprophytes, your dead and decaying matter that exists. That is something wherein we see that they can act on it. Thereby, it can break it down into simple inorganic substances. Hence, in this case, the correct answer is both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation, right? Yes, very good. Array, so much you don't tell me about Berzelius and all. I don't remember. All that feels like college level stuff that I've done. Okay. Ma'am, this is not clear. See, man-made, this is non-biodegradable. Saprophytes act on biodegradable substances. Yes, this is true. Now, materials that are there, they exist in a long period of time. True. Now, if it has to be the correct explanation, it should be that they are non-biodegradable and bacteria and saprophytes cannot act on them. Which is why in this particular case, correct answer is option B. What happened? Menti died. Is that so? Has Menti died, guys? Many of you are saying mine died long ago and all. But before that, jaldi say all of you, hit the like button on this video, right? I know Divyanshu, don't overcomplicate it. Aram se pad lo. Yes? Ha, banana peel and all of that. Exactly. Very good. See, man-made objects, they are working on it. See, now technically if you see, we have devised or they are working on some plastic eating bacteria and all of that. But again, we're talking about what is naturally available, right? So that is why. I'm Menti closed. Okay. Do you want to just give me the answer here? Do you want to just quickly everybody refresh Menti, close Menti, open Menti once again? Jaldi say, do that. We'll give 1 minute for my students whose Mentis have crashed. And in the meanwhile, all of you like the video. Don't forget to like this video. Theek hai. Okay. Let's go on to question number 20, everyone. Last question for the day. Yes? Assertion says that disposable plastic cups are preferred over disposable paper cups because disposable paper cups are biodegradable. What is the answer to this? Okay. Very good. See, we prefer disposable plastic cups. Preferred over disposable paper cups because plastic cups we can reuse, right? There is a concept of reuse for plastic. Whereas in the case of paper cups, if you see, if you pour water into paper cups or tea or something, the reusability factor decreases. Which is why we see that in this particular case, you can say assertion statement is true. But disposable paper cups are biodegradable? No, they are non-biodegradable. Which is why in this particular case, the correct answer is option D. Yes? So with this, everybody, we come to the end. And of course, we're going to have a look at the final leaderboard. How many sample papers to solve? Preferably, the more you do, the better because more practice. But minimum of 5 sample papers is what I would recommend as a good number, right? Okay. Yes. Are we clear? Oh, sorry. My bad. Okay. But sorry, my bad. I said it ulta. Yeah, I interchanged the explanation for paper cup and plastic cup. The explanation is ulta, right? Okay. So in this particular case, we see that, yes, I interchanged the explanation. Sorry about that. Okay. So let's have a look, everyone. And A is false and R is true. Yeah, my bad. I interchanged the explanation. Okay. So let's have a look at the final leaderboard. And I can see that Shreya has consistently made it on top. Well done. 4 rounds. 3 rounds. You were there on top. So well done, Shreya. Easy way out learning. And then I can see followed by Ananya. Okay, wait. Let me see. I have Aditi, Ananya, Team 7 guy. Jia, Vidhi, Samiksha, Rashi, Sri Lakshmi and Lakshmana who have made it to the top 10. So well done all of you. Well done. I am super proud, right? Super duper proud of all of you. See, my intent today is you've made it to the leaderboard and I'm very proud. But most importantly, if as long as all of you here have studied, if you're now feeling a little more comfortable, right? Were you all feeling a little more comfortable in solving assertion reason questions ki हाँ चलो उसका practice हो गया and I'm now able to make things or I'm able to work around it? That is what I want you to do. Now if you enjoyed the questions, don't forget to let me know in the comments of this video, and most importantly students, if you have doubts which I would have not tackled during the session, and if at all towards the end I have not done it, let me know in the comments. Now I know I'm going to get bombarded with doubts. For those of you who want to drop off, you can drop off, it's okay, I will take some of the doubts. And if you want to stay for the explanation also, you can. Write the role of insulin in regulating blood sugar level. Mention Harshit, what is the role of regulating blood sugar level? We know that in the case of insulin, what does it do? It helps the cells take up glucose, converts excess glucose into and stores it in our body in the form of glycogen. Now mention the disease caused. If there is insufficient production of insulin, it causes diabetes. Assertion says, okay, next is Ashwini's question. Assertion says that inner walls of small intestine are made into finger-like projections which are rich in blood. These will have complete, will increase surface area. So in this particular case, Ashwini, for complete digestion. So now there are two things. Why are villi made into finger-like projections? They are made into finger-like projections to increase absorption, right? They are mainly there for absorption. Now why complete digestion happens? Complete digestion of food happens because in the intestine, they produce intestinal juices that facilitate complete digestion. Had the question been about absorption, then it is a correct explanation. So are we clear? What is phagocytosis? Phagocytosis is nothing but basically the engulfing. So your WBCs that are there have the ability to engulf, let's say, disease-causing substances or disease-causing microbes, which is why in this particular case we see that that's a process called as phagocytosis. See, law of independent assortment is too huge to explain, so I'd recommend you watch Ankita ma'am's video. But to give you a quick understanding, law of independent assortment says that if I have two characters, right? Let's assume round seeds and green seeds. Yes. When they form or when they assort, or easier way is, if I have something like this, when they form gametes, they will not go as pairs. It will not be that this particular character pair will always move together. They can independently assort, right? They can independently assort in whatever manner. So that is what we mean as independent assortment. Ma'am, okay, 1 minute. Ma'am, in the book it is given that correct reason. Which book are you referring to, Ashwini? Can you tell me? Can you tell me which book so that I can go back and come back to you? Why are walls of ventricles thick? Walls of ventricles are thick because the ventricles are our pumping chambers, right? They are the pumping chambers, which is why in this case we see that because they are our pumping chambers, their walls are thicker in order to pump the blood. Ashwini, can I do one thing? I will check the book and I will give you the answer in the comments. Systolic and diastolic. Remember, systole means contraction. Diastole means relaxation. My spelling could be wrong, please don't mind. So systolic pressure is the pressure recorded when there is contraction, right? Diastolic pressure is recorded when there is the relaxation that happens. Yes? Why does oily food cause high BP? Oily food that is there may have high cholesterol content, right? So if you look at the cross section of the artery, we see that a lot of these substances will come and settle in the walls of the artery. So what will happen? They'll come and they'll form something called as plaque. Yes, they'll form plaque. So in this particular case, when that happens, they will restrict the flow. So now this is the cross section and this is my artery. I'll use another color. We see that they will come and they will form plaques like this. So what will happen? They are further restricting. They are further restricting the flow of blood. Thereby what will happen? Now the blood is going to flow in higher pressure, right? Okay. Are we all clear with this? Are we all clear? Yes or no? Now many of you are asking me what is indole acetic acid. Indole acetic acid is nothing but another name for auxin, right? Indole acetic acid that is there is nothing but another name for oxin. PDF for this will be difficult because it's on Menti platform, but I'll try to give it to you, okay? Now, so many questions. Sample paper to Ashwini, remind me in the comments also once, okay? PDF of this video, I will try. Difference between nephron and alveoli. Alveoli are balloon-like structures, air sac-like structures, help in gaseous exchange. What is nephron? Nephron is tubular in structure, which helps with formation of urine. Significance of prostate gland: produces secretions that provides a medium which allows, so basically the secretion in prostate gland adds certain, okay wait, let me phrase it. The secretion that comes from prostate gland allows or creates a medium that tackles or that helps the sperms to enter into the female reproductive tract. Because if you see, there is the sperms or the semen that is there is very alkaline. But the inner linings of, the female reproductive tract is acidic. Which is why in order to tackle that, we see that the prostate will produce certain secretions. Okay. So with this everybody, I have tried to answer as many doubts as possible. Rameshwar says that, ma'am, I had my first live with you. It was a good experience. It is great that you had a great experience, right? So with the students, I am going to be signing off. Nourishment of sperm specifically, see, specific to prostate, that is a function. Nourishment is more of seminal vesicles, right? So with the students, I have come to the end of today's class. If there are doubts that I have missed out today, let me know in the comments of this video. I will reply to all of you. There are some doubts which are pending from my previous video as well. I will sit all together and I will do it. Tomorrow we are going to be having geography revision. I will do Menti as well because time is of utmost importance. So we will do Menti tomorrow also, 30 important questions. Then of course we will have more and more classes, so don't worry about it. So thank you so much everybody for staying with me till the very end. I hope you enjoyed this class. If you did, don't forget to let me know in the comments. I will see you all soon. But up until then everyone, take care. Lots of love to all of you and bye bye and good night.